The wind moved across the ruined city like a tired ghost. Broken towers stood silently against a gray sky. Roads were cracked, empty and full of dust. No humans had walked here for more than 500 years. Earth was a dead world now, or at least that was what everyone believed. But something moved in the middle of the silence. A small human child, around 10 years old, walked slowly across the broken ground. His name was Aaron Vale. His steps were weak, his clothes old and his face covered with dirt. He looked like someone who had walked for many days without rest. But he was calm. Too calm for a child alone in this dead world. Aaron had been born on a small hidden settlement deep under the earth. The old elders of the settlement never allowed anyone to go to the surface. They said it was dangerous. The world above was poisoned, empty, and full of machines that hunted anything alive. Yet Aaron was here. He had escaped the underground home, following a strange feeling inside his chest. Something called him. Something ancient. Something powerful. Like a voice without sound, a command without words. He did not understand it. He only knew one thing. The world above was waiting for him. Aaron stopped in front of a giant broken statue. The statue was of a human soldier wearing ancient armor, holding a shield with Earth's old symbol. Half of the statue was broken and the face was gone. But Aaron still stared at it. He felt something warm. Like the statue was watching him. Suddenly the ground under him trembled. Dust rose in the air. A deep sound echoed from far below the surface, like a massive heartbeat waking up after centuries of sleep. Aaron stepped back in fear. What was that?" he whispered. The heartbeat came again. Tum, tum, tum. The sound moved through the earth, shaking the stones around him. Aaron did not know that the forgotten machines under Earth were reacting to his presence. They were ancient war machines, created thousands of years ago in humanity's golden age. Machines that slept after Earth fell. Machines that would only awaken for a special human. A human with the right bloodline. A human child, like Aaron. Far below, inside a hidden chamber of steel, old lights flickered on. Warning symbols glowed. Rusted gears turned after centuries. A deep mechanical voice whispered in the dark. Human signature detected. Activating protocol, last light. Awakening Earth's ancient might. But Aaron heard none of this yet. He only felt the ground shaking stronger. He looked around. The wind grew louder. The air became warmer. Something was coming. He wanted to run. He should have run. But his feet did not move. Instead, he turned toward the ruins of an old government building. The roof had collapsed long ago, but a long staircase still led downward into darkness. Something inside that darkness called him, gently, like a whisper made of warmth. Aaron walked toward it. Every step made the heartbeat louder. He reached the staircase. The air smelled like old metal and dust. Aaron took a deep breath and stepped inside. His footsteps echoed in the empty hall. The deeper he went, the less light he saw. Soon he walked in near total darkness. Then, a soft blue light turned on ahead of him. A thin line of glowing blue symbols appeared on the wall. They looked like writing, but Aaron did not know the language. They moved like flowing water. He touched the wall. The symbols glowed brighter under his hand. And far below, the ancient machine voice spoke again. Human child identified. Bloodline match, 99.8%. Access granted. A heavy door at the end of the hall slowly slid open. Air rushed out, cold and clean. Blue lights illuminated a giant underground chamber. The chamber was massive, bigger than any building Aaron had ever seen. Steel pillars rose into the darkness. Strange machines covered the walls. Old cables hung like vines. In the center of the chamber, there was a large circular platform filled with more glowing symbols. And in the middle of that platform was a pod. A human-sized pod made of smooth black metal, shaped like a sleeping egg. It hummed softly like something alive. Aaron walked toward it slowly, heart pounding. He felt it again, the warm calling feeling. Stronger now. Almost like the pod wanted him to come closer. He placed his hand on the surface. The pod responded instantly. The entire chamber shook. Lights exploded across the ceiling. The blue symbols glowed bright white. The pod opened. Inside, a soft voice spoke. Not human, not machine, something ancient and powerful. Hello, Aaron Vale. Earth has been waiting for you. You must awaken its strength. For the enemy is coming. Aaron's eyes widened. Enemy? What enemy? The voice answered. The ones who destroyed Earth long ago. They are returning. And only you can control the might that can stop them. The ground trembled violently. Dust rained from above. Old machines roared awake. Aaron stood frozen, staring into the glowing pod. He did not know why the Earth needed him. He did not know why ancient machines called his name. He only understood one thing: something terrible was coming. And Earth's last power had awakened for one child. The pod's glow washed over Aaron's face. The light was warm, almost gentle, like a hand touching his cheek. But everything around him felt wrong, too big, too ancient, too powerful for any child to stand near. He took one small step back. I don't understand, he whispered. Why me? The voice inside the pod answered calmly, almost like it was smiling even though it had no face. Because only your blood can open the vault of Earth. And only your mind can wake the ancient might. Aaron shook his head. His heart raced. He was just a boy. A weak boy. A child who had never seen the sky until today. How could he control something made by the oldest warriors of Earth? He stared into the pod again. The soft blue light inside looked like water. He felt his fingers moving toward it without thinking. But suddenly, the entire chamber roared. Huge circular doors across the walls opened one by one. Loud metallic gasps echoed as ancient machines inside them powered on. The lights above turned red. Sirens started screaming like the building was alive and angry. Aaron covered his ears. What is happening? The voice replied. Long sleeping systems are waking. Earth's defense is rising again. You must enter the pod before the activation ends. Before Aaron could react, something new happened behind him. A large shadow appeared in the hallway he came from. Someone else was here. Footsteps echoed, slow, heavy, too controlled to be from a human child. Aaron's heart jumped. He turned quickly to look. A tall figure walked into the chamber. Covered in gray armor. Helmet glowing with a single red stripe. A mask with no mouth. A long staff-like weapon in its hand. Aaron stepped backward, fear gripping his throat. This was not from his underground home. This was something else. Something hunting. The armored figure turned its head toward him slowly, like a predator discovering prey. The pod's voice spoke urgently. Hostile detected. Enemy scout unit, seeker class. You must enter the pod, Aaron. Aaron's body froze. He wanted to run. He wanted to scream. But he could not move. The seeker raised its weapon. A cold blue light grew at the tip. It was charging a shot. Aaron gasped. No, stop. The seeker took a step forward. The pod reacted faster. A shield of pure blue energy expanded around Aaron like a bubble. The incoming shot hit the shield and exploded, sending sparks across the chamber. The floor shook violently. Aaron fell backward, but the shield protected him. The voice inside the pod spoke sharply. Aaron Vale. The enemy has found Earth again. These are only the first scouts. More coming. You must decide, enter the pod, or die. The seeker fired again. Energy blasts hit the shield repeatedly, boom, 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 each one shaking the chamber harder than the last. Cracks formed on the ceiling. Dust rained down. Aaron's breath shook. He looked at the pod again. He didn't know what would happen if he stepped inside. He didn't know if he would survive. He didn't know why he was chosen. But he knew one thing. If he stayed outside, he would die. And Earth's last hope would die with him. He took a step toward the pod. Then another. The shield expanding with him. The seeker suddenly leapt forward with impossible speed, swinging its weapon. It hit the shield with a loud metallic clash, denting the glowing barrier. Aaron screamed. The seeker pushed harder, trying to break through. The pod's voice turned louder, urgent, commanding. Enter now, child. Aaron ran the last few steps and threw himself into the pod. The instant he touched the inner surface, the pod closed around him like a protective shell. The chamber lights exploded into brightness. Symbols ran across the walls at high speed. The seeker slammed its weapon onto the pod, sparks flying, but the pod was now invincible. Aaron lay inside, breathing fast. The voice spoke softly. Calm yourself, Aaron. Do not fear. You were born for this. Blue liquid-like light moved around his body. He felt weightless. His heartbeat slowed. His mind felt like it was sinking into warm water. Then he heard something new. A second voice. A deeper voice. Not mechanical. Not human. Something ancient. Something powerful. Child, will you carry the strength of Earth? Will you awaken what sleeps? Will you fight for your world? Aaron did not know how to answer. But deep inside, something answered for him. A small whisper rose from his heart. Yes. The chamber shook. Far below, ancient machines that had slept for 5 centuries came alive. Heavy armor plates unlocked. Massive engines woke with thunder. A giant figure, buried deep under earth, opened its glowing eyes for the first time in ages. It was Earth's ancient might. A colossal war machine. A titan built for destruction and protection. And it had found its pilot. The pod whispered, "Connection complete. Child linked. Awakening the titan." Aaron felt the ground disappear beneath him. He wasn't just inside the pod now. He was inside the titan. He had become part of it. Outside, the Seeker stepped back as the chamber walls shook violently. The floor cracked. A massive silhouette rose from the depths. Aaron's voice echoed inside the titan, small, afraid, but ready. What am I?" The ancient voice answered him. "You are the pilot of Earth's might. And the war begins again." The chamber shook like a living beast waking from a nightmare. Walls split open. Metal cracked. Ancient engines roared back to life after 5 centuries of silence. And deep inside the Titan's core, Aaron opened his eyes. He was floating in a soft blue space, like a dream without walls. He could not see his own body. He could only feel the Titan, its weight, its strength, its heartbeat, connected to him. A calm voice echoed in the blue light. "Welcome, Aaron Vale. You are now inside the Mind Link. This is where Titan and pilot become one." Aaron tried to move and something incredible happened. The Titan moved with him. He lifted his hand in the Mind Link. A massive metal arm rose in the real world, shaking dust from its joints. He opened his fingers. The Titan's giant hand opened too. The power felt strange and terrifying. One small child controlling a machine as tall as a building. Aaron whispered, "I'm inside it. I can feel everything." The ancient voice replied, "The Titan feels your thoughts. Your fear, your courage, your breath. Do not fight it. Let the Titan strengthen you." Aaron swallowed. "I don't want to hurt anyone." The voice answered softly, "That is why you were chosen. Only the kind can control great power." Below the Titan's feet, the armored Seeker stared up in shock. Its red visor flashed. It had never seen a Titan awaken. Its alien creators had believed Earth's machines were dead forever. Then Titan Zero's eyes lit up, 2 white burning lights. The Seeker took a step back. It almost looked afraid. Aaron felt its fear inside his mind link. The Titan shared every vibration, every signal, every threat. The world felt bigger, sharper, louder. The Seeker fired its weapon again. A beam of blue energy shot toward the Titan's chest. But Aaron felt it coming before it even fired. He lifted his arm. The Titan lifted its arm. A metal shield snapped out from the Titan's wrist, glowing lines spreading across its surface. The blast hit. The shield turned bright white. The energy dissolved like smoke. Aaron gasped inside the mind link. "I blocked it." "Yes, pilot. Your thoughts shaped the Titan." The Seeker rushed forward. Its footsteps were fast, metallic, deadly. Aaron felt fear. But the Titan felt something else, purpose. "Aaron," the ancient voice said, "do not run. Stand. Defend Earth." Aaron lifted both hands. The Titan slammed its feet down and held its ground like a mountain. The Seeker leaped onto the Titan's leg and climbed upward like an insect. It raised its weapon to stab the Titan's chest. Aaron reacted without thinking. He swung his arm wide. The Titan's giant arm smashed into the Seeker with the force of an earthquake. The alien machine flew across the chamber and crashed into a steel pillar, breaking its armor. Aaron's heart raced. "I didn't mean to hit it that hard." The voice whispered, "A Titan is meant to be strong. Your control will improve. But first, survive." The Seeker stood again, sparks falling from its damaged chest. Its red visor flickered angrily. It let out a sharp metallic scream that echoed through the chamber. Aaron felt a chill. That sound? It is calling for more. The enemy knows Earth is waking. They will come in numbers. Aaron looked around. Titan Zero's sensors showed him shapes beyond the walls. Movement, signals, radio noise. More Seekers, heading toward the ruins. He felt the danger like cold water. The voice spoke again firmer. "Pilot, you must leave this chamber. You must reach the surface gate. Only then can the Titan rise above ground." Aaron nodded, even though he had no real body here. "Show me the path." Blue lines drew themselves in the air. A map. A tunnel. A path upward. Aaron took one step in the mind link. The Titan took a thunderous step in the real world. The chamber floor cracked under its weight. Ancient machines collapsed around it. The Titan moved forward toward a huge sealed door. Aaron placed his hand forward. The Titan placed its hand on the door. Old Earth symbols glowed. The door recognized the pilot. A roar of machinery echoed. The gate opened. Darkness waited beyond. A long tunnel leading up toward the surface. Lights flickered awake one by one, showing dust clouds swirling. Aaron asked quietly, "What is up there?" The ancient voice replied, "The sky. And an old enemy returning. You must reach the surface, pilot. Your true battle begins above." The Titan stepped into the tunnel. Behind him, the damaged seeker crawled out of the shadows. Its red visor flickered. Its body sparked, but it was not dead. It watched the Titan leave. Then its chest opened, revealing a pulsing device. A beacon. A signal. It transmitted the message to the sky. Target found. Earth's weapon activated. Send the fleet. Aaron did not hear the signal, but he felt a strange heaviness in his heart, like a coming storm. The Titan's engines burned brighter as it climbed. Above ground, the clouds were gathering. Ships were already entering Earth's orbit. The enemy had returned, and only one child now stood between Earth and destruction. High above the ruined Earth, the black clouds began to twist like smoke pulled by an invisible hand. Strange lights flickered inside the sky, red, violet, and silver. The air became heavy, almost electric, as if the atmosphere itself feared what was coming. And in the Titan's control core, Aaron felt all of it. He sat inside the glowing pod, still connected to the Titan's systems. The blue light around him pulsed softly with every beat of his heart. The ancient machine kept him safe, but he could feel the world outside like it was touching his mind. A new voice echoed through the Titan, cold, sharp, and ancient. "Aaron Vale. The enemy is entering Earth's orbit. Prepare yourself." Aaron swallowed nervously. "Who are they? Why do they want Earth again?" The Titan answered with no emotion, only truth. "They are called the Harrowers. A species that destroys any world with human life. They ended the last age of humans." Aaron's breath froze. He remembered the stories he heard as a small child, stories whispered by elders, stories he thought were just myths. Tales of a dark enemy that burned the sky, shattered cities, and forced the last humans underground. But those stories were real. And now the Harrowers had returned. Deep in space, huge shapes began to appear from the swirling lights, giant ships with sharp metallic sides and glowing red engines. Their hulls were covered in strange symbols, like scratches carved by claws. The first Harrower ship turned toward Earth. Inside its bridge, tall armored creatures stood like living shadows. Their bodies were long and thin, with blade-like arms and glowing red eyes that burned like fire. One of them spoke in a voice that sounded like grinding metal. "Human signature has awakened. The ancient weapon is active. We must destroy the child before it matures." Another Harrower lowered its head. "The Titan must not rise again. We finish what our ancestors began." The Harrower fleet moved closer to Earth, ready for war. Back underground, Aaron felt a cold wave of fear. "Titan, will they kill me?" The Titan's ancient voice responded. "They will try. But you are not alone." A soft vibration moved through the Titan's massive body. The chamber around Aaron shifted, opening new systems. He felt stronger, more connected, like the Titan was sharing its mind with him. "Are you helping me?" Aaron whispered. "Yes. You are too young to control full power. I will guide you." The blue light around Aaron grew brighter. Far above, the Titan's gigantic body began rising through the rubble. Rocks fell away. Dust exploded outward as the ancient machine climbed toward the surface. For the first time in centuries, the Titan stood under the open sky. Its armor shined silver blue. Its eyes burned like twin stars. Its body towered above the ruins, each step shaking the earth. Aaron gasped as he saw the sky through the Titan's sensors. The dark clouds swirling, the strange lights, and the shadows of massive ships approaching. "Are those the Harrowers?" "Yes," the Titan replied. "And they bring destruction." Suddenly, a beam of red energy shot down from one of the Harrower ships. The Titan moved on its own, fast, smoother than any human could move. It raised its armored arm. A glowing blue shield appeared instantly. The red beam slammed into the shield with a thunderous boom. The ground cracked. A shockwave rolled across the city. Aaron screamed inside the pod. "Titan, are we going to die?" The Titan's voice remained calm. "Not today." The shield absorbed the blast and shattered. Blue fragments of energy scattered like broken glass. Before Aaron could recover, 3 smaller Harrower ships dropped from the sky. They flew low like predators hunting prey. Their weapons glowed red. Aaron panicked. "They're coming. They're coming." "Focus, child," the Titan instructed. "Your mind controls my movement. Trust yourself." "But I don't know how." "Your heart does." The Harrower ships fired. Red bolts of plasma rushed toward the Titan. Aaron closed his eyes. His hands shook. He tried to calm his breath. Inside his mind, something clicked. Suddenly the Titan moved. It dodged left, then right, then jumped, landing with a heavy crash that split the ground. Aaron's eyes opened wide. I did that? Together, the Titan said. The harrower ships circled around, preparing for another strike. Aaron focused again. He felt the Titan's energy flowing into him like a river. He raised the Titan's arm. A long blade of glowing blue light formed, shaped by ancient technology and powered by Aaron's thoughts. The Titan whispered, "This is the Lumine blade, the weapon of Earth's might." Aaron held his breath as the harrower ships attacked again. This time he did not fear. He swung the blade. A shockwave of blue light tore through the air and hit the first harrower ship. The ship exploded instantly, flames rising like a sun being born. Aaron gasped, shocked by his own power. One of the harrower commanders watching from orbit growled, "The child is adapting. Too fast." The Titan spoke softly inside Aaron's mind. "This is only the beginning, Aaron Vale. The real battle has not started yet. They will send their strongest soon." Aaron looked up at the sky, where more dark shapes were descending. He felt fear. He felt power. He felt destiny pulling him forward. And he whispered, "I will not run." For the first time in centuries, Earth had a defender again. The Titan rose from the deep pit like a mountain waking from a long sleep. Metal plates slid into place with heavy, echoing clicks. Blue energy lines lit up across its armor like veins carrying ancient power. Inside the pod, Aaron felt everything. He felt the Titan's arms. He felt its feet. He felt its heartbeat, slow, heavy, ancient. He was no longer just a child. He was connected to something far bigger. The pod's soft voice guided him. "Aaron, do not fear. Your thoughts will move the Titan. Your will gives it strength." Aaron swallowed hard. "I don't know how. I've never fought anything." The ancient voice replied, "You do not need training. The Titan remembers. You only guide it." Above the pit, the hostile seeker robot stood frozen. It watched the giant machine rise. Its red eye flickered with confusion. This was something it had never seen. Aaron felt the Titan's head turn toward the seeker. The Titan's vision was not like human eyes. He saw heat, energy, movement. Every detail was sharp and bright. The seeker fired first. A bolt of blue plasma shot toward the Titan's chest. Aaron flinched, but the Titan did not. A bright energy shield appeared instantly, blocking the attack. The blast exploded like fireworks against a wall. Aaron gasped. I didn't do that." The Titan protects itself. But with your mind, it becomes unstoppable. The seeker prepared another shot, but Aaron felt something inside the Titan click. A desire. A command. Strike. Before the seeker could react, the Titan moved. A massive metal hand reached forward. The ground shook. Air blasted around the chamber. The Titan grabbed the seeker like picking up a toy. Metal squealed. Circuits sparked. Aaron felt the enemy's energy like a cold fire in the Titan's hand. He wanted to throw it. Without thinking, he imagined the motion. The Titan obeyed instantly. It hurled the seeker across the chamber. The robot smashed into a stone pillar and shattered into pieces. Aaron stared shocked. I did that." "Yes, Aaron. You and the Titan are one mind now. Together, you are Earth's weapon." Suddenly, the chamber alarm changed pitch. New red lights flashed on giant screens across the walls. The pod spoke sharply. "Warning. More enemy signatures detected. Surface breach in 90 seconds. Aaron's chest tightened. "How many?" 7 scouts. 3 warriors. 1 commander unit. Aaron felt fear crawl up his spine. 11 enemies. And he was only one boy. "As long as I'm controlling, I won't let them hurt Earth." The ancient voice responded. "Then rise, pilot. Let the world above see Earth's might once more." The Titan stepped out of the chamber. Every step shook the ground. Ancient steel doors opened one by one as the Titan approached. Dust fell from the ceilings. Old holograms flickered awake, scanning the Titan's armor as if greeting an old king. The Titan reached the final gate. A huge circular door. Locked for 500 years. No human had passed through it since Earth fell. Aaron raised the Titan's hand, hesitating. "What if I'm not ready?" The pod whispered. "Child, you were chosen because Earth trusted your heart. Not your strength. Not your age. Your heart." Aaron took a deep breath. He pushed the Titan's hand against the ancient lock. A pulse of blue energy spread through the door. Old symbols glowed bright. Air rushed from the cracks. Then, the surface gate opened. Light burst into the dark vault. Wind rushed inside. Aaron saw the sky again. Gray, broken, but still the sky. But he also saw movement. Many shapes. Enemy machines dropping from the clouds like black insects. The invasion had begun. And Earth's Titan stepped forward. Ready for war. Part 4. The First Battle of the Broken Sky, 800 words. The wind howled across the ruined city as enemy dropships descended like dark birds. Their engines screamed. Their metal wings glowed with blue fire. They spread across the sky, forming a circle around the vault entrance. Inside the Titan, Aaron felt every vibration in the ground. He whispered, "They're already here." The pod confirmed. Enemy commander detected. Designation, Night Reaver class. High threat level. More machines dropped to the ground. Small seekers, tall warrior units with blade arms, and heavy troopers with cannon shoulders. Aaron counted them. Oh, 50, 20. Too many. The Titan stood tall, its blue lines glowing brighter as Aaron focused. The enemy commander, a tall black-armored unit with 4 glowing eyes, stepped forward. Its voice echoed through the broken city. Unregistered human signal. Surrender the child. Capture the Titan. Eliminate resistance. Aaron felt his heart pounding in fear. The commander raised a hand. Warrior units charged. Aaron did not move at first. He felt frozen. The pod spoke softly. "Breathe, Aaron. The Titan moves with you. You are not alone." He closed his eyes. He imagined pushing forward. When he opened them, the Titan was already charging. A shockwave blasted behind its steps. The ground cracked open beneath its feet. The Titan's fist glowed bright blue as it swung at the first warrior unit. Crash. The enemy exploded into shards of metal. Another warrior attacked from behind. Aaron imagined turning quickly. The Titan spun, smashing the robot with its elbow. Sparks rained across the battlefield. Aaron cried out, "I can do this." 3 seekers fired energy beams. The Titan raised its arm. A shimmering shield formed instantly. Boom, boom, boom. The beams bounced away. Aaron pushed forward with a thought. The Titan leaped into the air, landing with a ground-shattering impact. Enemies were thrown in every direction. But then, a blue burning spear shot across the battlefield. It pierced the Titan's shield and hit its chest armor. Aaron felt a shock run through his whole body. Ah. Inside the pod, warning signals flashed red. Damage 5%. Hostile commander attacking. The Night Reaver commander moved faster than the others. Its 4 glowing eyes locked on Aaron. It spoke with a cold voice. "You are not the legendary pilot. You are a child. You cannot control Earth's might." Aaron clenched his fists. His fear turned into anger. "I'm still human. And that is enough." The commander charged. 2 blade arms extended from its back. It swung both at the Titan. Metal screeched. Sparks exploded. Aaron pushed the Titan's arms forward. They blocked the blades, but the force pushed the Titan backward. The ground cracked. The Titan's feet dug trenches in the dirt. Aaron growled, "No, I won't fall." He imagined grabbing the commander. The Titan moved quickly, catching both blade arms and twisting them. The commander screamed in mechanical fury. Aaron lifted the huge robot and slammed it into the ground. Dust blasted into the air. Before the commander could stand, Aaron imagined a final strike. The Titan's fist glowed with pure blue light. He drove it down like a hammer. Boom. The commander's armor shattered. Its glowing eyes went dark. The rest of the enemy forces froze. They watched their leader fall. Then they retreated, one by one, flying back into the clouds. The battlefield fell silent. Aaron breathed hard, sweat running down his face. He whispered, I won." The pod answered, "You survived your first battle. But this is only the beginning. They will return with greater force." Aaron looked up at the sky. He knew the war was not over. Earth needed him. And he would not run. Part 5. The Boy Who Must Become a Warrior, 800 words. Night fell slowly across the ruined world. Dark clouds moved like giant shadows. The Titan stood in the middle of the city, its armor glowing softly. Inside, Aaron sat in the pod, breathing quietly. The Titan rose from the depths like a giant waking after 1,000-year sleep. Dust and old metal fell from its armor plates as its huge frame pushed upward. The chamber walls cracked and broke under the pressure of its mass. Blue-white energy glowed inside the lines covering its armor, giving it the look of a walking star. Inside the core, Aaron felt everything. He was not sitting in a chair. He was floating in warm light. His mind was connected to something far bigger than his body. Every vibration, every movement, every sound echoed inside him. It felt impossible, but also natural. The ancient voice spoke inside the Titan. Pilot connected. Titan unit, GIA-01 activated. Power systems rising. The seeker below backed away. For the first time since entering Earth, the enemy scout felt fear. Its glowing red stripe on the helmet dimmed slightly as it scanned the rising Titan. Aaron looked through the Titan's eyes. A massive blue viewing layer opened in front of him, showing the world from the Titan's height. He whispered, This is all me? You are not controlling it, the ancient voice replied. You are joining with it. You think it moves? Together you become one. Outside, the seeker fired another blast, stronger than before. A ball of blue energy smashed into the Titan's chest. The chamber shook. A shockwave hit the walls. Aaron yelled, but the Titan didn't fall. Instead, a massive shield of shimmering metal unfolded from its left arm. The pod voice added, Defense mode active. Unit stable. Threat low. Aaron felt the movement as if he himself had raised his own arm. He gasped. So this is being a Titan? The seeker didn't stop. It jumped onto the Titan's arm, stabbing its weapon into the armor. But this time the Titan reacted. Its massive hand grabbed the seeker like a child grabbing a bug. Blue energy flared around the Titan's fingers. The ancient voice whispered, Crush. Aaron hesitated. No, I can't. But the seeker stabbed again and Aaron felt a sharp mental shock, like a spike hitting his brain. This time instinct took over. His thoughts turned into motion. The Titan's fist tightened. Metal screamed. The seeker's body shattered into pieces. Energy leaked across the floor like spilling light. Aaron gasped in horror. I didn't mean. The ancient voice replied calmly. This is war, child. You will do far worse before the end. The chamber grew silent. But silence never lasted long in a world waking from death. Suddenly the entire facility shook. Alarms went off. Red lights flashed. The pod voice spoke sharply. Incoming signatures. Multiple. Enemy drop pods entering Earth's upper atmosphere. The Titan's eyes glowed brighter. Aaron felt a new sensation. A pull upward like gravity reversing. The world above calls, the voice said. Move, pilot. The war has returned. The ceiling tore open as the Titan rose. The ground cracked. The chamber collapsed behind him. For the first time in centuries, Earth's sky felt the presence of GA-01. The ruined city spread out around him. Broken towers, shattered roads, empty silence. But in the far sky, dark shapes fell from orbit like burning stars. Enemy ships. Enemy machines. Enemy death. Aaron whispered, voice shaking. They're coming for Earth, again. The ancient voice answered. Then we will meet them. Stand tall, pilot. The Titan walks again. And with one step, the Earth shook as if the planet itself had awakened. The war for Earth had begun once more. Part 4, The Enemy That Ended Humanity. 800 words, lore reveal plus suspense plus action. Asterisk asterisk. The sky burned with falling lights. Aaron watched them through the Titan's eyes, each one descending faster, brighter, louder. They weren't stars. They weren't meteors. They were enemy drop pods. The same kind that once wiped humans from the surface. Who are they? Aaron whispered. The ancient voice replied. They are the Arathos. Destroyers of civilizations. Hunters of strong worlds. They ended humanity's last age. Aaron's throat tightened. But why come again? Earth is dead. They returned for one reason. Something survived. You. The drop pods hit the ground in the distance. Explosions shook the dead city. Black smoke rose into the sky. Aaron felt something curling inside him. Fear, yes, but also something sharper. Anger. He didn't know why. He didn't know how. But it felt like something deep inside him remembered these enemies. Remembered their destruction. Their cruelty. Their power. As if his blood itself carried the memory. The Titan began walking toward the smoke. With each step the earth trembled. Ruins collapsed behind him. As he approached the landing site, shapes moved inside the smoke. Not machines. Not soldiers. Something worse. Tall, insect-like creatures stepped out. 6 legs, long arms, black armor that looked grown rather than built. Their heads were smooth with no eyes, no mouth, only a glowing red crack across the front. Aaron whispered, what are they? Arathos hunters. Fast. Silent. Merciless. One of them screeched, the sound vibrating in the air like broken glass. A dozen more screeches answered. Then they rushed. The first hunter leapt toward the Titan with terrifying speed, climbing its leg like a spider. Claws dug into the armor. Aaron flinched, but the Titan moved before he could think. A massive kick launched the hunter across the ruins, smashing it into a building. Another hunter jumped toward the Titan's head. Aaron raised his arm. The Titan copied. A blade unfolded from its wrist, made of compressed light. The ancient voice whispered, "Cut." The Titan slashed. The hunter's body split cleanly in half. But there were many more. 12 hunters surrounded him. Their claws sparked as they scraped against the Titan's armor. Aaron gritted his teeth. He felt their attacks like dull pressure on his body. He clenched his fists. The Titan responded. 2 energy cannons rose from the Titan's shoulders. The pod voice said, "Warning, overcharge risk. Human pilot may not endure the recoil." "I don't care." Aaron shouted. "Fire." The cannons glowed, then erupted. Twin beams of white energy cut across the battlefield, turning hunters into ash. The ground melted under the heat. Aaron screamed as the shock hit him inside the pod. It felt like lightning running through his bones. But he stayed conscious. He endured. The cannons powered down. Smoke and fire spread across the ruins. The ancient voice spoke with approval. "You survived the recoil. Stronger than expected." Aaron groaned, panting. "That hurt. War hurts, but you endure." Only 2 hunters remained. They crouched low, ready to strike. But they didn't attack. They watched, studied. Then one spoke with a strange echoing voice. "Child pilot confirmed. The old bloodline lives. The high swarm will be pleased." Aaron froze. The hunter continued. "The Arathos come not to destroy Earth, but to capture the one who awakened the Titan." Aaron's blood ran cold. They weren't here to kill him. They were here to take him. The hunters screeched again. A signal. Above them, dark shapes moved in the clouds. Bigger, heavier, stronger. Enemy warships. The ancient voice whispered urgently. "Pilot, run. We cannot fight a swarm alone, not yet." Aaron turned the Titan away, sprinting across the ruins. For the first time since waking, fear truly entered his heart. Not fear of monsters. Not fear of death. Fear that humanity's last hope was being hunted. Part 5. The Last Refuge of Earth. 800 words, world building plus characters plus suspense. ***. Aaron ran the Titan across the dead L.